Good morning, students. This is the third video of the chapter Nationalism in Europe. And in this video, we'll try to understand the concept of European society. We'll try to understand how the society of Europe was structured and how the different groups were living in that part of society. We'll also try to understand that how the different type of liberal nationalism or how the different aspect of liberal nationalism erupted with the emergence of middle class in Europe. We'll try to understand that what was the impact of French society on the entire part of Europe. So let's begin with the French society. So here we'll have to understand that France was the part of Europe, and here you'll have to understand that what type of society was there in France or how the society was structured in France. We already discussed in the French Revolution that the French society were having three different parts. The upper class, that was termed as aristocrat, middle class was also there, and last was the peasant class or the poor class. Initially, in 15th and 16th century, only two groups were there inside the French society. The first one was the aristocrat or the upper class, and second was the peasant class. Only two classes were there. So you have to understand that upper class consisted of, or aristocrats consisted of, kings and members of the Catholic Church, whereas most of the people were poor and they belonged to the third group, that was the peasant. But after some time, a new class emerged in the French society or in the European society, and that was the middle class. A middle class consisted of traders, merchants, many doctors, shopkeepers. They emerged in the society after getting some knowledge, after getting some education, and they started demanding the question from the monarchy. So in the European society, now third group was emerged. That was the middle class. And middle class started demanding various things from the monarchy, because at the time monarchy was there in the Europe, in different parts of Europe, all over Europe, monarchs were there. So the middle class started demanding, because aristocrats were there, they were getting all the facilities, and peasants were only exploited. So middle class emerged in the French and European society, and they started demanding their rights, their democratic rights. They also demanded the removal of government, and they demanded that in the country democracy should be established. And for that purpose they undertook a new concept, and the concept was liberal nationalism. So here liberal nationalism concept was coined by the middle class. The middle class got inspiration from the liberal nationalism. So liberal nationalism was having two aspects. One is political, whereas other is economic. So first of all, we'll try to understand the political aspect, and thereafter we'll discuss the economic aspect of liberal nationalism. And that was mainly emerged by the middle class. So let us again focus on the structure of European society. Here it is written French society, as France was also the part of Europe. So if it is written French society, you'll have to understand that here we are discussing about European society. So what was specific about the European society? As I told you, the three important parts were there: the aristocrats or the upper class, middle class, and the peasant class. That was at the lowest level in the hierarchy or in the pyramid. Now, middle class got inspiration from the new concept, that was liberal nationalism. So as I told you, the two important concepts was there. One was political. So what was the political concept here, and how it was related with the democracy? Because the middle class also demanded for democracy. So what was there? So first point is written that independent nation states with clearly defined borders. They demanded that new type of state should be developed. It should be independent with clear-cut borders. Thereafter, government should be formed, and government should be formed with the consent of ordinary people. That was the second thing. And thereafter it is written well-integrated society to be formed, in which the society should not be formed in such a way that one is getting benefit, other is not getting the benefit, or other is exploited. So they demanded the society should be structured not like the pyramid, but like a horizontal structure in which all should get the equal benefits. Similarly, the people should come together they should form the government on the basis of democracy. So these were the political aspect of liberal nationalism, and this became the important base or platform for raising their demand. So here middle class started demanding the liberal nationalism and particularly the political aspect. Thereafter, one more aspect is there, that is economic aspect. So what was there in the economic aspect of liberal nationalism? We'll have to understand. In the liberal nationalism, one more economic concept was there, or economic aspect was there, that at the time, as we discussed, that different parts of Europe was having the barriers. I mean, they were not going to allow the free movement of goods and services. Even they are not going to allow the movement of people from one part of the Europe to the other part of Europe. So the middle class, under the liberal nationalism concept, they demanded for free movement of goods and services. They demanded clearly that the goods and services along with the capital and people should be free to move from one part of the Europe to next part of the Europe. So that was the demand. Why it was demanded? Because at the time so many restrictions were there in the European countries, and one country was not going to allow the people of other country to enter or to trade. So in order to facilitate the trade, or in order to facilitate the merchants, it was decided at that time by the middle class to go with the demand of liberal economic nationalism, and in that they demanded that goods and services should flow from one part of the country to the next part of the country without any hindrance, without any difficulty. Got it? So you have to understand. And for that purpose, a new type of custom union, a new type of body was framed, and that was Zollverein. So what was the Zollverein? It was a custom union. Basically, you have to understand that in Germany, 39 different confederation was there that was framed by Napoleon. Basically, Germany was fragmented into several pieces. But when Napoleon came, he found finally 39 confederation. So when he finally formed the 39 confederation, he formed one custom union also thereafter. Custom union was also formed thereafter the Napoleon period, and in the particularly confederation of Germany. What was the specific purpose of Zollverein? So Zollverein was the body that was introduced by the different leaders of that time, and it was mainly the custom union. So what was the problem? The problem was regarding the free movement of goods and services, as we have already discussed in the liberal nationalism topic. So as the traders, merchants were facing much problem while moving from one place to another place, or while moving their goods and services from one place to another place, it was very difficult to earn money or to give taxes to the government also. So it was decided to go with the free border or free trade. So basically custom union, Zollverein was there, and its duty was to give permission to remove the trade barriers. You can see here that now before the Zollverein what was the condition, and after the Zollverein what was the condition. Here you can see here easily that a tariff is there, and goods is moving, and tariff is going to block the way. But on the other figure you can see here that now it is after the Zollverein was formed, after the body was formed, it gave permission for the free movement of goods and services. So here it is clearly shown that how the Zollverein performed its function. Zollverein was mainly developed in order to facilitate the trade, in order to remove all the trade barriers, in order to remove all the type of toll that was imposed during the 19th century. So here you have to understand that Zollverein was established, and that was established because the demand was made by middle class under the liberal nationalism to remove trade barriers, and to allow for the free movement of goods and services. So we can see easily that economic aspect of liberal nationalism was taken very seriously, and in order to facilitate trade and mercantile, it was decided to go with a new concept, a new independent body, a new voluntary body, that was the custom union, and that was termed as Zollverein. So basically here you have to understand that this type of body was created. So what we have seen here, that under the society of Europe, new middle class emerged, and they demanded for their rights. And once the demand was raised, the king also became, the monarch also became very active, and thereafter a new type of group was formed, a new type of union was also formed, and finally the middle class became successful in raising their demand. So this is all about the French society and the different parts of French society. So this is all about this video. Thank you so much.